All right, let's talk about something we all deal with every single day: habits. We're going to dive into the surprising science of our automatic behaviors, basically, why your brain spends so much time on autopilot and how that shapes, well, pretty much everything you do. And it all kicks off with a feeling I'm sure you know well. You know that moment when you pick up your phone to check the weather, and 2 minutes later, you're deep into your email and you've completely forgotten why you picked it up in the first place? Or how about when you're driving to work and you suddenly snap back to reality and realize you don't remember the last 5 minutes of the drive? Don't worry, you're not going crazy. Your brain is actually doing exactly what it's supposed to. Yep, that's your brain's built-in automation system, just running its programs. See, habits aren't a bug in your personal software, they are a core feature. It's a really powerful shortcut your brain uses to save energy for the stuff that actually requires your full attention. So, how does this whole automation thing actually work? Well, it all comes down to a really simple, super elegant, and incredibly powerful blueprint that's running in the background of your mind all the time. When you get right down to it, a habit is just a behavior you've done so many times that it's become automatic. Your brain doesn't have to consciously decide to do it anymore, it just hits play on the program. And that frees up a massive amount of mental energy. And this is the program. It's a simple three-step process called the habit loop. First, there's a cue. That's the trigger. That leads to the routine, which is the action you take. And finally, you get a reward, which is the payoff that tells your brain, hey, that was good. Let's remember to do that again. Let's make this real with an example we all know way too well. The cue, that feeling of boredom. The routine, you immediately pull out your phone and open up social media. And the reward, a quick hit of instant stimulation. You do that enough times, and bam, boredom now automatically triggers you to reach for your phone. Okay, so that loop makes sense. But why is it so powerful? Why do our brains latch onto these things so quickly and so tightly? Well, the science behind it is pretty fascinating and shows just how good our brains are at building these shortcuts. I love this analogy. Think of it like trying to make a path through a dense forest. The very first time, it's tough going. But every time you walk that same path, it gets a little clearer, a little wider, a little easier to follow. Eventually, it becomes a well-worn road. That's exactly what's happening with the neural connections inside your brain. And you know, there's a little chemical engineer helping to pave that road. It's called dopamine. When you do something that feels good, even just a little bit, your brain releases this powerful chemical. It's the brain's own internal reward system. This is the simple, powerful message dopamine sends. It's not just about feeling pleasure. It's a teaching signal. It's literally telling your brain, hey, pay attention, whatever you just did, let's do that again in the future. And that's what cements the connection between the cue and the routine. It gets even crazier because habits get hardwired to our surroundings. The context, the place, the time of day, it all becomes part of the cue. Maybe just sitting on your couch triggers you to turn on the TV, or walking into the kitchen triggers you to open the fridge. Your environment starts doing the thinking for you. Let's be honest, making decisions is exhausting, even small ones. Our brains have a limited amount of energy for conscious thought each day. So habits are this brilliant energy-saving strategy. Instead of wasting brain power asking, what should I do now? You just act. It's why routines can feel so darn comfortable. At their core, our brains are survival machines, and they basically equate familiar with safe. This is why even a bad habit can feel kind of comforting. It's predictable. Your brain knows what's coming. And in a chaotic world, the brain often prefers a familiar bad outcome over an uncertain new one. Okay, so this brings up a huge question, right? If our brains are these amazing habit-building machines, why does it feel like we're pros at building bad habits, like eating junk food, but struggle so much with the good ones, like going to the gym? It all comes down to a major problem with timing. It's really this simple. Bad habits give you a reward right now. That dopamine hit is instant. Good habits, on the other hand, their rewards are often delayed. The benefits of exercise or studying come way down the line. And because our brains are hardwired for immediate gratification, they naturally prefer the behaviors that pay off right now. So, understanding all this isn't just a fun science lesson. It's like someone just handed you the user's manual for your own brain. So let's use it. Let's figure out how to take control and consciously build the habits we actually want in our lives. Since the cue is what kicks off the whole loop, The single most effective thing you can do is change your environment. If you want to stop snacking on junk food, get it out of the house. If you want to read more, put a book on your pillow. The idea is to make your good habits obvious and your bad habits invisible.
This one is so important. We always think we have to go big or go home, but that's a trap. Your first goal isn't to run a marathon. It's to build the neural pathway. So make the new habits so easy you can't possibly say no. Just 5 minutes of exercise. Read 1 page of a book. These small wins build consistency, and consistency is what forges the habit.
You know, nature abhors a vacuum, and so does your brain. Instead of trying to just stop a bad habit, which is really hard, try swapping out the routine. Keep the cue and the reward. So if you feel bored, that's the cue. Instead of scrolling social media, pick up a book. You still get the reward of mental stimulation, just a healthier version of it. And this all circles back to one golden rule. Frequency beats intensity every time. Doing something small every single day builds a much stronger, more reliable habit than doing something huge once a week. It's all about getting those repetitions in. Okay, remember that reward timing problem with good habits? Well, we can actually hack it. You have to find a way to give yourself an immediate reward right after you do the good thing. Maybe you track your progress on a calendar and you get that little hit of satisfaction from checking off a box. Celebrate the small win. That helps your brain link a positive feeling to the new routine, which makes it stick way faster. All right, so after looking under the hood at all the mechanics, what's the big takeaway here? It really comes down to understanding the quiet, almost invisible power of your daily actions. When you boil it all down, here's the key insight. Habits form so easily because your brain is fundamentally an efficiency machine. It is designed from the ground up to put on autopilot whatever you consistently do. Your brain doesn't judge whether a habit is good or bad. It just automates what you repeat. I want to leave you with this one quote that honestly says it all. Your goals, your ambitions, they set the direction. But it's your system of daily automatic behaviors that actually determines whether you're going to get there. The small things you do every day without even thinking, over time, they aren't just things you do, they become who you are.